afternoon. Welcome to the Board of Park Commissioners meeting for Monday, November 3rd. Sue, please call the roll.
Mr. Emmerich?
Here.
Mrs. Anderson?
Here.
Mr. Harrelson?
Here.
All members are present.
Awesome. First item on the agenda is to approve the minutes from our October 7th meeting. Are there any additions, deletions to those minutes? All right, hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, minutes approved. Next, we're working on over to the reports. Mr. Drake is not here right now. Looking at his reports, he submitted to the board. Are there any, I guess, statements to be made off of his since Mr. Drake's not here right now? All right. We'll move on to Mr. Seiler's notes. So Mr. Seiler is not present as well. He did submit a report to the park board outlining his events through the year. So you have the last event added, I think, is the Thunderstruck and Sabbath concert for January 9th. Is there any comments on Mr. Seiler's report? All right. Moving on, we'll go to Mr. Boer's report. Mr. Boer is not here as well. He submitted a report this week. Any comments on Mr. Boer's report? All right. Moving on to the Planning Commission, I have nothing for my reports. And that takes us to new business, which we do not have anything listed right now for new business. Mr. Titterington, Mr. Davis, is there anything that you guys have as far as updates or anything you'd like to add?
Yes, thank you. Just wanted to provide a quick update regarding the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. We have met several times. We've had, I think, at least 2 or 3 stakeholder meetings. Finding out throughout those meetings, we felt the need that, every entity we met with has a need. And so we've met with various groups, pickleballers, we met with Troy football parents, baseball association, you name it, if there's a group, we've met with them. We want to get their feedback. So we took that feedback, we condensed it down and looked at the information. And we realized that it may be more important to focus on more sports parks. They talked about wanting to be all in the same area because as you have multiple kids, roughly 2 to 3 different years of age, it's hard to divide and conquer. And if we could have all the sports in one complex, that was something that each group talked about a need for. So we partnered with Legacy Sports Group out of Indianapolis. We brought in William Knox and his team. We met again with all the individual groups and then our stakeholders after that. And so they are going to give us recommendations on how to use like multi-fields, maybe for multiple purposes, how to realign Duke Park for better usage, things of that nature, and then give recommendations on what to do with the existing parks. They'll be partnering with American Structure Point for that. So our plan is to have a workshop at December 3rd with the Park Board, the Rec Board, and City Council, and have our consultants provide that information. They'll kind of go through the studies, what we've done. We've had surveys. There was over, I think, over 600 surveys, over 800 surveys received, which was phenomenal for the parks. So we know there's a lot of interest in the parks. A lot of people utilize those parks. And some groups are farther than others. We've had some groups who have laid out plans and said, hey, this is what we like. We've had other groups that we've just spoken to. We've also, from a programming standpoint, we talked to Lincoln Community Center. Of course, we talked to the city's recreation department, different areas on how they correlate and how we can better serve those areas as well. So we are taking a very comprehensive approach from a bird's eye view to see how we can streamline and create improvements to our park plan to serve everybody. So that's kind of where we're at in the state of the game. Nothing has been decided yet. Of course, those recommendations will be brought to you guys. And then after we kind of go through those kind of priorities will be set from those recommendations, and that's how the plan will be laid out.
So I participated, thank you for the update. I participated in the baseball subcommittee, and then the overall subcommittee, there was, 12 to 15 people in each one of those?
That's correct,
Probably
yep.
committee meetings. Seems like there's very good conversation. Would you say that's pretty standard? Was pickleball, was football that well attended as well?
They were. All of our meetings have roughly about 12 to 15 individuals. We actually capped our steering committee to that just because you get more people in the room, it's harder to get things accomplished. But we wanted to have one rep from everywhere on that steering committee, so that way it wasn't dominated by one group or the other, which has worked out very well. The only group that didn't service more than that, we had one conversation with the tennis group, which is Mark Goldner, if you're familiar with Mark. There was really no need to actually meet with him, with our consultants. He talked about using community park. He said those were sufficient fields and then, or courts. And then his only concerns were on school-related property, and I told him that was not a part of our study. So everybody else, yeah, we had a great turnout, so.
Okay. And then, so the next progression is we're going to have a workshop. You said a joint workshop on December 3rd, and I've gotten that invite. Did you get that invite on that? Okay.
Yep, that's the next step.
And then, I know this is folded into the master plan, but you're still targeting I know I don't want to put a date on there, but January, February.
Yeah, I think,
solidification at least of a plan.
yeah,
not
depending
maybe
on how the
final
workshops go.
Okay.
If we get good direction, I think that could be accomplished, yeah.
Okay. Questions?
No.
Questions at all?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
James. Yeah. Is there anything else to come before the park board today? Sue?
Only to note that at your next meeting, you will need to set aside time for executive session for performance evaluation.
Oh, for our December meeting as well?
Yes,
Yes.
it's a December
Okay.
meeting, yes.
Okay. So we'll make a note of that, to set aside that for review for our December meeting, and we need to solidify some dates on that December one, which runs a little longer too.
And if there's information that you want ahead of time, please let us know.
Okay. Mr. Nelson, did you have something?
Yeah, I have started kind of outlining a draft of what I think would be a helpful kind of like procedure manual for the park commissioners going forward. It's something that we kind of started to similarly do with on the Board of Zoning Appeals with certain types of motions and certain tasks that we have or like throughout the year where we have a lot of institutional knowledge in our brains or through Mrs. Knight or through staff, any other place, but it would be helpful, I think, and I think statutorily we can kind of create our own procedures, if you will, but I think it'd be a good idea to document this into an outline of sorts that helps us maintain continuity over the future and remind us of certain things. So I kind of started fiddling with that over the last week or two when I was doing some research on other Board of Park Commissioners in other non-charter municipalities. See if they have certain things like that that I think would just be a helpful guide or document for us. So I think at some point after the new year, we should do a work session where we just kind of talk through it and see if there's things we need to add, things that we think, maybe with some input from city staff on, for example, when we are going in and out of executive session for an employment matter, right? That language is pretty uniform. We can stick those kind of things in there to just try and have a helpful reference guide going forward.
Great.
So I just wanted to bring that up because I'll be suggesting that we do a work session probably after, it's not going to happen before the end of the year in terms of the holidays. All of a sudden it's going to be New Year's before we know it. So sometime when we're all bored in the winter, we can get together for a work session, I think, on that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else? All right. Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned.